Hi, my name is Terry Regassa, Sutter Meats in Northampton, Massachusetts, and on behalf of my wife Susan and our awesome staff, I'm very proud to accept the 2020 Western Mass Season Business of the Year Award. It's crazy, it'll be 7 years this January that we've been open, and over these 7 years I thought that we had prepared for everything, but then COVID hit, and what the heck are we going to do now? We were lucky that we were one of the businesses that remained an essential business, so we were able to stay open when lots of our friends had to close. But we did have to make an extreme pivot, and one that we were a little bit hesitant to make, but was necessary to make just for our survival. We went from being the shop where people would come in, spend a half hour just browsing, talking to us about how to prepare their cut of meat, what type of meat to get. It's a very convivial atmosphere, a sense of community you had when you walked into our shop, and that was just gone overnight, where we decided to do exclusively phone orders with backdoor pickup. But it was a big change. My wife and I, Susan and I, we work 40 plus, 50 plus hours a week, and we relied heavily on childcare before. We have a 5-year-old daughter, and overnight that was taken away as well. So that was one of the biggest reasons why we closed our store, was because our customer retail space became our daughter's de facto play space. But we wouldn't be here without the partnerships that we've developed over the years. So many fantastic farms in our community. There are 4 of them in particular that have been the bedrock of Sutter Meats, and that's Sage Farm in Bernardston. That's Tyler Sage. He's our pork farmer. And he was actually our first employee here. He became our head butcher as he was raising pigs just a couple of years for friends and family. And now he does, about 150 to 200 pigs a year for us on land that he recently purchased in Bernardston. Also our 2 beef farmers, there's Austin Brothers Farm in Belchertown and Poplar Hill Farm out in West Whately. Some of the best pasture-raised beef I've ever had in my life, and we're so lucky to have them just a stone's throw away from our shop. And then finally, our lamb farmers, the Thayer family up in Cummington with Splendor View Farm. Some fantastic pasture-raised lamb. Some of the biggest lamb that I've ever seen. The Hampshire breed that they have is remarkable in its size and the amount of meat you're able to get off of it. Just remarkable. And our staff here, we have some of the most amazing people work for us. We're lucky to have been able to retain a lot of people. We lost a few at the beginning of COVID, but we have our two managers who are like the heart and soul of our shop. Lachlan Higgins, who is our head butcher, and Becca Morrison, who's our general manager. Without them, we couldn't have done any of the stuff that we've been able to do in the last few years. And we only have a staff of 6 or 8, including Susan and myself, and we all work very hard to make sure that the best quality meat goes out to our community. We found that when COVID hit, we really had to focus more on value-added items. There was a lot of just making sure we had a lot of the main product in stock, obviously, but we had a lot of things that people were used to getting at grocery stores, like prepared things that they couldn't get, they didn't want to get. So we developed a bigger value-added item program. Our rotisserie chicken sales took off. They went through the roof. All of our cold cuts, the rendered fats and bone broths as well. All those things that we've been proud to make just as a sustainable whole animal butcher shop. People realized that is something that we did as a whole animal butcher shop and came, calling for that. It's funny that we still have a lot of our regulars from before the pandemic, but I would say that half of our customers now have never seen the inside of our shop, and that's a funny thing for us to think about. So one thing that we were lucky about too is that our supply chain wasn't interrupted during this whole pandemic. We have a very short one. It's farms to our slaughterhouse, which is Adams Farm in Athol, another valuable partnership that we have, and then straight to us and then to the customers. So we're lucky that we didn't have any of those shortages that you saw in the grocery stores at the beginning of the pandemic or ever. In fact, we're getting more meat than ever because unfortunately many of the clients that our farmers had, restaurant clients, they weren't able to keep up their demand. So we were able to shoulder that demand, which is great for the farmers. But we also took on a lot more grocery items as well. We did some wonderful local flour from Ground Up Grain in Hadley, and started selling a lot of soaps actually made from tallow from our beef, from our friends over at Revival Homestead Supply in Northampton. Those have become two of our biggest sellers now after the pandemic, and we became a lot more well-rounded kind of grocery stop than we were before, where we were pretty much a niche market. Now we're taking on a lot more items, and that's kind of fallen off a little bit now as the pandemic has worn on, but we do have still have a significant demand for that. We are lucky to be able to maintain this business and be able to thrive in this current climate. And we couldn't have done that without the support of our community and our fantastic farmers, our wonderful customers who've bared with us as we were learning how to change our model, and now have come to expect and respect the safety and the protocols that we have set up. And it's just a wonderful place to be, making the best out of a bad situation here. So thank you again for this wonderful honor, and we look forward to seeing you all in person one day. Thank you. All right, be well.